Today is 822nd day that I'm here to lessons I learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person you want to become. Last couple of days, I shared about results. And I shared that planning plus execution is equal results. Planning plus execution is equal results. So I shared how you're able to plan and how you're able to execute to get the best results. And today I want to focus on results, but a little bit different. I learned a framework how to really achieve results. Because a lot of times we need to look into, okay, where everything starts. And everything starts from a circumstance. So today we'll share the model framework is CTFAR. CTFAR, and that stands for circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. Circumstance, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. That means that I would love to really look into this model and why this is so important, because a lot of times if we are not careful, we have very bad thoughts, and that leads to different things. So like first thing, we need to understand that everything starts from the fact. So that means circumstance. It might be that you say that I want to be a business owner and I want to make $1 million a year. And that is your goal, that's a potential result. But your fact, this is circumstance that you are in, that you are making $100,000 a year. So that means that you know that this is where you're at. This is where you're at. And you know what's the result potentially that you're looking for. This is your goal. Your goal, of course, is not result because you still need to achieve that. So your goal is $1 million, but your circumstance and your fact is that you are making now $100,000. So now look into the thoughts. So that means your thoughts, your beliefs will be dictated. What kind of thoughts do you have? So when you think about your goal is $1 million, so you can think of, okay, this is totally achievable. This is totally achievable. And what that will lead to? If you think that it's totally achievable, that means that you will really start to feel that, okay, like, I can do this. Like, that means that thoughts will lead to feelings. You will feel encouraged, empowered, confident. So that means that those thoughts that this is totally achievable, will lead to uplifting feelings and emotions. And of course, when you have uplifting emotions, empowerment, and all those positive emotions, it leads to positive actions. And of course, when you think about positive actions, so what positive actions lead to? Leads to positive results. So that means if you want to reach $1 million, everything starts from understanding where you're at, the fact is where you're at. Now, you have those beliefs and thoughts. What kind of thoughts you're thinking constantly about your goal? Now, because of your thoughts will lead to feelings, emotions. And what kind of emotions do you feel when you think about the goal? And if it's positive, of course, you'll get positive action. And positive actions will lead sooner or later to positive results. And it will move that goal of $1 million as a result, and will achieve that result. Now, imagine that it's totally different. Imagine that you have the same exact circumstance that you had $100,000. But now your thought about that goal that you have set for $1 million a year seems that you could never achieve that. It is impossible to achieve that. How you can potentially think that you are able to make it happen? At that moment, because your thoughts are negative, will lead to negative feelings, negative emotions. So that means that when you think about, okay, like, I will never achieve that. I will never. So that means that you will feel devastated. You will lose confidence, self-esteem, and all the emotions, all the feelings start to really discourage you to really take an action. So it means all the thoughts about that massive goal, those negative thoughts will lead to negative emotions, negative feelings. And that means, of course, when you have, like, you put yourself down and you feel that this is unachievable. And because of those feelings, and you feel down on yourself, because you feel down, you don't have any energy whatsoever. So that means you will not take action. You don't have a great attitude, and your actions will be very negative. You will not perform at your best because you do not have emotions in place. So it means you perform at the worst, and because you perform at the worst, what happens to your result? Your result is weak. And maybe you're able to increase the revenue from $100,000 to $200,000, but you will never reach that $1 million because you never took action to achieve that. Because There's one thing that is very, very important to understand is that when we understand that what is the fact, what is the circumstance that you're in now, and you understand the thoughts, you understand your feelings, you understand your actions, and then you finally get the results. But the same thing you can do that from other side. So when you say that, okay, like let's look into that the same $1 million that I want to achieve this result. I want to achieve this goal, $1 million. So what kind of actions do I need to take to achieve that? So that means you're able to write down all the actions that will be required to achieve that $1 million goal and to achieve that the result. Now, because you know what kind of actions you're going to take, now you can ask yourself, okay, if I want to take this kind of action, how I need to feel to be able to take those actions? How do I need to feel to be able to take those actions? And you know that what kind of uplifting emotions you need to feel to be able to perform at the best, to make sure that you have the great attitude, to make sure that you take those actions easily and consistently. Now, when you know what kind of feelings and emotions you want to feel to take those actions and achieve a result, next question is, so what kind of thoughts do I need to think to lead that could potentially lead to those emotions, those feelings? And you, of course, you think, okay, this is what I need to think to allow myself to start feeling those emotions. And of course, now when you think about, okay, so what kind of station I am now, and then because again, we need to understand that always start from the fact. We need to have that strong foundation. So that means when we start from other side, we still need to go back to the fact. What is actually fact? So that means that this model could be used in everything. It could be a model when you think about, okay, something something disappointing happened, and you can think, like, what really happened? So what kind of thoughts did I had about that disappointment? What kind of thoughts I had about this mistake? And then what that led in, what kind of feelings and what kind of emotions it led it to, and what kind of actions did they took, and what kind of result I got out of it. Because a lot of times when you say, okay, I do not like my results, and we can really look into this model and where are we struggling? Are we struggling with thoughts? Are we struggling with emotions? Are we struggling with actions? Where is the gap? Where is the bottleneck? Of course, one of the biggest gaps that people have is that thought gap. That they really have that circumstance, they have that fact, and just they do not know how to think and use their thoughts properly that they could achieve the best outcome. Because when you have those positive thoughts, that will for sure will lead to positive emotions, and that will for sure lead to positive actions. And positive actions, sooner or later, will reap some kind of positive results. And other side is exactly the same. If you have negative thoughts, will lead negative emotions, it will be negative actions or inaction, because most time, like when you are negative and do not have any emotions and do not have any energy, you are stagnant, you don't take actions whatsoever. And that leads to no results. So I think that we need to be very, very, very careful. And I found this model recently, but I think that I will need to learn how to use it on a weekly basis and make sure that I'm always on the top of the game, because that when we're growing, our thoughts are constantly challenging us. So that means that negativity comes every single day, and we need to put that positivity and fight against that negativity to make sure that we have those results. That this is always will happen. So like until you're breathing, you will need to fight. You will need to fight for positivity. And this model I found that is very, very good, because it always allows you to reflect. So where is your bottleneck right now? If you don't like results, and if you like your results, now you can look into, okay, what did you do? And you can say, okay, this is what I liked. Because a lot of times what happens is that a person has amazing results in one thing and terrible results in another thing. Now, when you're able to compare those things, you understand that there was something missing in this model, and now you're able to adjust, pivot, and really start getting results in multiple areas of your life. So I hope that this model will help you the same way that it helped me, because now when I look into something that I don't get, I always challenge. Okay, so where I'm missing, because at the end of the day, if you change, the result will change as well. And a lot of times this comes down from, okay, understanding the fact, understanding your thoughts, understanding your emotions and feelings, understanding your action that you take, and of course, you will see what kind of results you are getting out of it. So I hope you choose to win. and see you tomorrow.